This is Sam, the Frugal Hoogle Gardener. I'm out here in front of one of my fruit trees. This is a loquat. I got a number of loquats on the property. They're all loaded right now. They're starting to ripen and the birds are already getting to them. So I want to at least enjoy the fruit on at least one of my loquats, if not a couple of them. And there's still plenty other fruit trees for the birds to eat, so I'm good with that. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna make a frame and try to put a bird net over it or some other type of netting that I have laying around, and I'm gonna do all this with scrap that's laying around. So let's see how it goes. So as you can see, my loquats are getting nice size. Every branch is loaded, plus there's still blossoms coming in. And you can see the ones that are ripening, the birds are already in there eating. And I have a lot of nice size ones that are going to be ripening all over. Like here's one that's ripening, and look, the bird already got it. Here's some other ones that are ripening. So you get the point. The birds are already having a field day. So I want to try to prevent it. So I went to my scrap pile first thing this morning, and I pulled out some PVC pipe that used to be water pipe. I dug it out. They're just pieces, they're old. So I put two of them together this way and that way to make it nice and long. And I put a sleeve in the middle, drilled a hole, put string around it. I could have used screws, but this is a prototype. And now I'm drilling a hole in the center of it. That way I could put a wire through it. And as you can see, I have string and I have wire. This is what I'm going to put through the center. Okay, so I did a sample test. This is my prototype. So what I want to do now is disassemble this because I know it works. And I'm going to put it together a little different. Since I use string as a prototype, I could just cut it apart. Okay, so I took this out. Okay, this is holding it. I'm going to cut this off. Pull it out. Pull this out. Okay. So what I'm using is sleeves that will go up over this. It'll be a lot stronger than using just a little coupling, because the breaking point's out here and it's tucked way on in like that. It'll work better. So, and I got myself some self-tapping screws. So I'm going to go ahead and, instead of using string, because the string, the sun gets to it after a while and it just gets brittle. I'm just going to go ahead and use wire and screws. Like that. Now I want the wire to hold the two big pieces together so it has a little bit of flex. If you screw it together, it'll snap, possibly no flex. So with that said, I'm just going to take this, put it in about halfway right there. I don't need my drill bit anymore. Okay, so when this is in, I know this is the halfway point. So I'm just gonna put it in like that. Take a bit. Make sure I got the center correct. Okay, so this looks pretty good right there. Okay, that's on there, a little bit of flex, but it's on there good. Now this one, as you notice, watch, it's gonna go like that, all the way in. So I'm gonna do the same thing, and I'm gonna keep these screws over here because that's gonna be the bottom side. That way the net don't get attached or stuck on it. Okay, there you go, this is together. So now I'm gonna make me another one of these because this has got a slit in it. I've been using that for something else and I don't want it. Another thing, you see these bags? These bags are feed bags. On the inside, it's got plastic. So I always use this to sit down on when the grass is all wet. That way my butt don't get wet. So if you have any kind of feed bags, use them. If you don't, and you know somebody with horses or chickens or something, just ask them for some feed bags. Everybody that has feed has tons of these. They want to get rid of them. They'll be happy to give you some. Okay, so I got another pipe. This one's a gray conduit. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm going to put this about halfway, which is right here. Put a screw in it. Now I'm going to do the same thing. Watch how far this goes in. Right there. Now I'm going to keep the screw on the top. Okay. So that's in there nice. Makes a nice center point. These will be flipped over on the bottom like that. And they're going to make a cross in the middle like this. So now I got to drill through here and put me another piece of wire through it. Okay, so I want to make sure those are on the bottom and those are on the bottom. Now I'm going to drill a hole. Okay, that's in there. Let me get some wire. Okay, so I have some more wire over here. Let me go ahead and put this through. Okay, nice. Here it is. It comes through. This time I'm going to pull it up and over one time. And I'm going to cut it. And I'm going to go down, up, and over. Okay, so I'm going to twist it on the bottom side because the net is going to be over the top. Okay, I'm just going to cut off the excess. See if I could turn it up and over so it don't get caught. Okay, that looks good. Nothing's going to get caught on it. There you go. They'll flex a little bit. This is the top part. Now I'm going to drag it over there and put it together. Okay, so I have the pipe over here that's going to make a dome. I'm going to put it in the fence for now and see if that holds it out and works. If not, I have these in my scrap pile. These are from a trampoline. I'll cut off the top. I'll pound it in the ground and I'll slip these in it. They will fit in there nicely and I can still always do it, but for now I'm going to go the easy route and see if it works. Okay, I slipped that one in. Now I'm going to slip the other side. Let me shut off the camera and I'll get back to you. Okay, so as you can see, I put it through the fence. It's up there pretty good. It's still got some flex, so with some high wind, it could push in. So I'm going to try to get my post hole digger and slam these in the ground. I'll cut off this end or I'll unscrew it. So let me do that and I'll get back to you. Okay, so I went ahead and unscrewed the end and I pounded it in the ground with a fence hole pounder. And I slipped this in, it's working good. So I'm gonna unscrew the others and this is the way I'm gonna do it all the way around. Okay, so I want these ends off. Luckily, they're just screwed on. And I could unscrew them, put the screws in there so I don't lose them. These just slip off. They don't call me the frugal Hugo gardener for nothing. The frugal side of me, I got some old trampoline pipe. Once the trampoline wears out, people throw these out. I used the top parts on my raised beds. I used other parts elsewhere, and now I found a use for it right over here, and it's working out perfect. So let's go install them. Okay, this is actually real simple to do. Now you notice it's got a bend in it, so I'm putting that bend in the ground. That way this part is straight up. This pipe fits in even with a sleeve on it. It fits all the way in the pipe, nice and sturdy. I could even pound that in the ground more if I want, but I don't have to. And I could even hook the fence out here onto it. So all in all, I think they're working out great. So let me finish the other side and we'll see how it looks up there. Okay, I got them all on the ground. Let me show you what they look like. Now, the reason why the dome, I was out here yesterday and I tried to put bird netting over it, and it was getting caught in all the loquats, breaking them off. It was getting caught in the branches. I don't want to go ahead and rip the bird netting. So I went ahead and, of course, I went online and I thought about a dome. I looked in my scrap pile and I says it may work. Now, I'm not out of the woods yet because I still got to get the netting over it, but at least that's going to hold it up and over. And it may not be perfect, but it's going to work. Plus, besides the netting, I have some other type of cloth that I use in the garden. I'm going to give that a try as well. We'll see what works better. So this is what it looks like. I got those in the ground. They're going up, and I can shift those any way I want, but they're straight. It's going up and over. You can see it's coming up and over. Same thing over here to make a nice dome. And the same thing over here. So now I have to get my bird netting and see how it goes. Now, bird netting's not wide enough. I might have to kind of sew it into a big piece or put it up as a cross. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out together. Okay, so using a PVC pipe with a wire through it like this. This is the same PVC pipe that I put up my banana supports with. If you ever watch that, it's the string banana supports. So what I did was I hooked that in the netting and pulled it up and over, and it worked out good. But I have the cheap one strand bird netting, so I want to go ahead and get the more expensive, thicker one and wider, and I'll show you why. My fence goes around the plant really wide, and this is so deer does not strip off the bark when they're in velvet, and they don't start eating the leaves. So this is really important. And I wanted the netting to go all the way up and over, and it did, and I cut it, and it's good for now. But it wasn't quite wide enough, so I stretched it here, but birds could still go through here, so I need wider. And there's a couple little openings, like over here's a little opening, and over here's a bigger opening. So I could close that up with some more of this netting, but I'm going to go online and see if I can't find some wider netting so I could put it up and it goes all the way around it with no openings. But I had to do the prototype. I had to see what it looked like. I had to see that I could support it well. And now that I see, all it takes is a little bit of PVC pipe, some posts in the ground. Now I get a measurement and get me some different mesh or bird netting. I'm going to look online, try to find something that's going to last year after year after year. Now this only needs to be over the loquat trees. We're approaching February, March, and April. That's it, 2 months, because they're ripening. And then I could take it down for next year or use it on my peach trees or anything else, because the blossoms and the peaches are coming in. But I got to do this for all the loquat trees that I want to preserve, which is okay. I'm going to leave some exposed for the birds. Maybe they'll go over there and leave this alone. But there you go. I started from scratch. I went into my scrap pile, got stuff to make it. I probably have enough to do a couple more of these. I definitely have enough to go in the ground for supports. And I feel it's going to work. I don't think the birds are going to go through that. They may, those openings. I could hang some little streamers or cover it up. But it's only going to be a few days before I get some netting. So, hey, I hope you enjoyed my little video on what I'm doing. Remember, what I do around here is grow and protect what I got growing. So I try to figure things out as I go to try to protect stuff. So this was on the fly. I just went ahead and created it. It seems like it's going to work out fine. So the birds don't get all of my ripening loquats or peaches or whatever else that I'm going to have, figs and everything else ripening. So I'm going to need a lot of these. And I had to start somewhere. So now I got a general idea of what looks like it's going to work and how I'm going to make them. Now I'll go in my scrap pile, I'll get more, and I'll look online and get more, and eventually I'll have enough of these for each and every year on my fruit trees. Now remember, fruit trees, and this is really good, you'll notice the height of my fruit tree. Well, if you ever watch my trimming videos, see the way the bottom comes up like an umbrella? Well, I trimmed it like that. Then in the middle, it's like an umbrella, and the top. And then I cut off the center so it doesn't grow taller. Because I want it just to be big enough to where it's filled with fruit, easy for me to harvest. And as you can see, I could put the netting over it. Now this tree is not going to grow taller. It may get bushier, but it's not going to grow taller. Each year it'll be loaded with even more fruit, and it's manageable. If this was really tall, how are you going to go ahead and cover a really tall 20-foot tree and 20-foot round? This is just like perfect. So all the fruit trees I have around the property, I trim them and train them like this. You can see the videos below, but basically it's an upside down umbrella. You let the branches come out, you trim the inside, that way breeze goes through, and you got a couple layers to the height you want, and then you top it off, and that's it. Where the umbrella is upside down, you top it off there, they just come out and don't go straight up, and you keep pruning it and trimming it each year, and they're going to stay like this. So I hope you liked my video. Give me a like, give me a share, subscribe to my channel. You'll see what other kind of stuff I create around here and how I manage all of my farm, chickens, banana plants, garden, hookah culture, pond, everything else. Hope to see you soon.